welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. So if you got any friends or family from up north, you're probably hearing from them as I am today. Talking about temperatures up -6 in my old hometown. That's crazy.
My mom called me about 20 times yesterday to give me snow updates.
Big deal for people in Texas, New Orleans, northern Florida, Georgia, where you don't typically see snow at all, or at least this much snow.
If it's -6, is that any different than -20? At that point, do you even feel a difference?
I don't know. I've never been in -20.
Yeah, I don't know if I have either in something that cold, but I think you probably get the varying degrees. I think it would still feel even worse.
I've been in blistery cold, but it was like 10. That's the coldest I've ever been in. And I was in New York City, and it was so windy. The wind was hitting our faces, and it stung. It felt like someone threw acid on you.
Right. It's very unpleasant. When you've got that bone-chilling cold, you're just cold to the bone. There is something to that, and it's hard to shake off. You can sit by a warm fire, and it takes like an hour to feel normal again. Yeah, I do. My body shuts down. If it gets cold, I can't even think. My teeth are chattering. I hate it.
It's not good tossing off weather, as they say.
Yeah.
Schaefer.
What?
Is
What?
that what they say?
It's not good jerk-off weather?
Yeah, I'm making comments. I'm making jokes.
Dick-sickle?
I'm just saying, it makes you not want to do things.
Yeah.
You're so cold.
Right, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, so got some KVJ Nationers from around the way sending us some messages. One is a person who is in Maine, and they said it was -13 this morning without the wind chill.
Whoa.
It literally takes your breath away. Kevin would die with his bitch-ass lungs. Not to be rude, Kevin, but yeah, no, you're right. I don't. Yeah, that's hard for me because, my bronchial issues, if I get in, when it's cold, you breathe in that cold air, I immediately start coughing, and then I can't stop. It's terrible. I remember, too, if you ever had anything athletic you were doing when it was that kind of cold, you're out there running and so you know how when you got any kind of workout going on and you're doing some cardiovascular work, you're breathing in heavier and then you breathe in that crazy cold air and it's like, and then that burns your throat. Then you cough. It's just awful.
There was a thing back in baseball, you'd get jammed.
Yeah.
You would
What's that?
You'd be hitting and someone would throw you the baseball and sometimes you'd hit it on the handle, like not on the barrel of the bat, and it was so cold it'd break your hands.
Yeah.
It would break them, but you would just go, ah!
Right.
Sting. Like Kevin, how he stove his finger. They have that version of that in baseball as well.
Yeah. Well, I just was telling you when I was out catching the football with my son last week, that football, it feels like a rock. And it's when it's even chilly. And I mean, this is South Florida temperatures, and it still really stings. So, yeah, it could be a lot worse for us. But I'll take our temperatures. It's all good. We've been down in the 50s, going to be in the 60s. It's going to be chilly for us. But still a lot better than everybody else.
I love it. I think it's a nice change. I get to wear my cute boots. I get to wear cute leggings.
Yeah.
That was my big regret, not getting boots at the fair and not getting a backup cowboy hat. I should have went big on cowboy.
Dude, the fair is still here. Your time's not over.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I'm going to go back out there because we haven't really had a day. I did it for the opening ceremonies, and then I had to jump on a plane to go see Grandma. So I'll totally go buy you another hat.
I didn't see the insulting clown that you can dunk. Do they not do that anymore because it's not very PC? Because I remember back in the day, that clown was a major dick.
He was.
If you had some weight on you, that clown would tear you apart, and then you go, I want to dunk the clown.
Remember that, yeah.
I don't know if you can you not hire that clown anymore?
Great question. Did you walk through all the rides? Because they keep him over by the rides.
I can't remember where we walked at. The fair's so big.
You're more of an expo center girl.
I love the expo center.
You like all the booths and the tchotchkes.
But imagine if you did have a clown that went rogue, maybe had some sippy, is on there and starts doing insult comedy on the audience.
I didn't like it because one year I was listening to him and I was like, he's dancing on racist. And
Oh, wow.
it made me feel weird. And I'm looking around and I'm like, is anybody else going to say something?
That's what I'm saying.
That guy needed to reel it in.
You got someone going rogue, and
Yeah.
then they think they're funny, first of all. Who knows what they're drinking before? Oh, my gosh. What a PR nightmare.
I did not like it. I don't know if he's out there this year, but I was not a fan of his act.
No.
It's not what the fair is about. The fair is not about that. Shaming people so they feel bad and then they don't eat a elephant ear.
Well,
That's not what the fair is about.
And maybe it wasn't the fair. I'm thinking, but I remember carnivals would have
He was
that.
absolutely at the South Florida Fair. He was in a dunk booth and he was heckling people as they walked by.
Yeah, I feel like it would be very satisfying to kick the shit out of an insult comic clown.
Right? Especially one that's not funny.
Yeah.
That it's really just being
it
a
would
dick.
make you feel good. It'd be very freeing. Yeah, I can see that. Talking about comedians that are good with their material, Dave Chappelle, something being brought to our attention here by Jill. She was watching his monologue on Saturday Night Live over the weekend, and she said, I was enjoying the show, and then I looked up, and now I can't see anything else. I guess she believes Dave might have been packing something big in his pants,
Whoa.
seeing that through his suit. And so she was completely distracted, did not listen to the fine comedy stylings, just kept looking at his package after that and taking photos of her TV screen to send to us.
That's funny. Thank you for being out there and doing the Lord's work. Anytime you see like a prominent dick poking through, you can always send those pictures, mail at kvjshow.com.
Yeah, I had never heard Dave Chappelle anything about, packing, not packing, whatever.
Well, if that's real, he's packing.
Yeah. So doing all right for himself. Good for him. That's probably why he walks around with such swagger.
He does have BDE.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's maybe where it comes from. That's maybe the engine to his comedy. He has that kind of confidence because he knows that he's packing. Maybe that's what it does. I saw this from Mental Floss, and you see some of these things and you got it in your own mind. Be like, do I believe that or do I not believe that? According to Mental Floss, they say there is no correlation between a man's shoe size and the size of his dick.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's just a myth. Just because a guy's got big feet does not mean he's got a big dong and vice versa. You could have, little feet and a big hog and
How do you feel about that, Virginia? Have you believed in that mantra, or do you think that there's nothing to it?
I mean, there is a certain amount of truth to it, but I don't think it's going to be 100%. I think if you have a big dude and he's got a big head and he's got a big foot and he's got big hands, chances are he's going to have a big dong just because he's a big dude.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's cases, and it's kind of fucked up. But yeah, you could have a big head, big hands, big feet, and a tiny penis.
I mean, that does happen.
It does happen, I'm sure.
You could be 6'5".
Look, I haven't been out there and done the field research, but if you need me to undertake this project and we can find some volunteers, I'll get a sample size of 100 men together and let you know.
Yeah, I would assume Mental Floss, somebody's done some kind of study on it. That's why they are feeling confident to say that. But yeah, I guess I had always just thought, no. I thought the hands and shoe thing was accurate. But who knows? Got a lot of people still talking about doing the dry January thing, though we'd heard that the numbers were low as of those who actually are able to complete 31 days without any kind of alcohol. There does seem to be these ongoing trends that more and more people are backing away from booze, probably thanks to the marijuana that is out there and how prevalent it is, and also I think the advancements in it. When you look at how things change, it feels to me like the world of marijuana is getting a lot more products and changes than the world of alcohol. Now, the craft beer thing was something that was kind of newer, and that had its rage because people were like, oh, this is new, this is cool, I like this. It was regional to local. There were different flavors. You almost developed a palate and an expertise about knowing these kind of beers. And then we realized we were all getting super fat.
Because each beer drinks like a piece of chocolate cake.
Yeah.
I kind of look at the alcohol in 3 different categories. I look at it as beer, I look at it with wine, then I look at it with hard liquor. That's kind of the 3 I look at it as.
I think that is kind of accurate, yeah. But that's the one thing that they're seeing is that in every category, the numbers are down. Craft beer, there's more breweries that are closing than are opening now when it comes to craft beer. And because of the Surgeon General, just a couple of weeks ago, I saw that Constellation, who does Modelo, they had a big-time drop in their stock prices. They were affected. We just had the other day that wine sales down 6% over the last year. And now I see that champagne shipments have fallen by nearly 10% since this time last year.
Now that's tragic.
And the other thing, too, is weed and alcohol are completely different animals.
Yeah.
I mean, I like both, but they are both used for different types of things. I mean, alcohol is such a different ride than smoking weed. I know you're not a big weed person, Virginia, but I mean, I've seen you one time do it, and you were passed out on a table.
It was pretty alarming.
But when people try to compare it together, to me, it's like saying that's bacon and eggs, really. It's different.
Yeah, but I think maybe it's people wanting to have a zone of relaxation and escapism that it brings. And when they do a pro-con list of each intoxicant, that they are finding that the negatives from weed are a lot less than the alcohol. And I even saw this, 49% of Americans say they plan to drink less alcohol in 2025. So these trends are likely to continue.
I think you nailed it, too, when you say I think people are just looking for ways to relax.
Yes.
Different ways, if they want to, because, I mean, that's why, to your point, some people that want to have a little bit of a vice that don't want alcohol anymore because maybe they don't like the way they act on it, maybe they don't like the way they feel.
I'm part of that 49%. That has kind of been an ongoing goal, and it's not a brand new thing, and it's not all this stuff, but I've just been telling myself for some time now, saying, you know what, I would like to drink less. And since I started doing the tincture stuff, I'm like, okay, it gets me to a place where it helps me de-stress and relax, and I'm sleeping better, and then I'm not having that impacted sleep. That's one of the biggest problems with alcohol. Because if I have done what is the categorical binge drinking, where I've had more than 3 cocktails in a day.
More than 3?
Yeah.
Of course you
That's
had
it.
more than 3.
You get to 4, that's your binge drinking. And I noticed the next day I am dog-ass tired.
Because
it
you
radically affects my sleep.
You sleep like dog shit.
I do.
Yeah,
yes.
the same
and I feel
thing.
it. And it's, man, you know what? It definitely steals my joy for the following day. And it's not like the old hangovers I used to have, which was, when I get a hangover, I would barf until noon. I just by the toilet, and it was just terrible. And you would barf, and then for 20 minutes you'd feel okay, and then it would just like a wave come back, and it was miserable. And I don't even go through that, and I still don't like drinking as much as I used to when I was younger.
They also say, you know, and these are according to some of the studies that are out there, the older you get, the more you suffer from
You do.
anxiety.
Yes. They're different,
which also steals joy from people's day the next day.
The anxiety is a legitimate thing. Like you feel like you really messed up in life. You're a terrible human. You start worrying about everything. You're like, oh
Everybody
my gosh,
hates
what have I done?
me.
Yes,
Even
right.
if nothing bad happens, you can still have anxiety.
Yeah. Down in the dumps.
It fucks with your chemistry, and there's a whole
Right.
science behind it.
Yeah.
When you do get to that drunk, and then the next day,
Right.
you're depleted of your chemistry.
Yeah.
And you have anxiety because of that.
Right. So I don't love it. I'm finding that to get the same goals that I want out of the tincture stuff, it is a better price point. Booze can be very expensive too, especially if you're buying cocktails out. Plus, you have to then worry about, you don't drive high or anything like that. But I mean, the blood alcohol levels, there's so many things that go into the drinking The drinking and driving, I know that in some of the states where they have legalized the marijuana recreationally, yeah, you do see a bit of an increase of people driving high, and it is causing some accidents, not to the level that the drinking and driving is. That still is king, and I think it always will be, even with the dropping levels. And we'll see as more and more people are using the marijuana where that winds up becoming. But as I go down my own personal list of everything, the way you feel, cost, the only thing that alcohol seems to do a little bit better, at least for me in the tincture, because I can't smoke because of them bitch-ass lungs I was just talking about, takes maybe an hour to 90 minutes to really kind of like, all right, it's starting to hit.
I got some of those. I didn't hate them.
Yeah, it's not immediate. And that's the only thing where there's sometimes where the tightness of the chest and the stress, you're like, you know what, a little tequila beverage right now it cuts it right. You feel it immediately. The second you take the sip, it's almost like, gosh, that works fast. It's stunning how fast tequila works. You're like,
hey, old friend.
It hits your tongue and you're like, okay, all right.
All right. Things aren't so bad.
Yeah. When I'm seriously stressed out and I do have a first drink of whiskey.
Yes.
And it kicks in about 2.5 minutes. You're like, everything's done.
Right.
It's the problem with having too many whiskeys.
I'm going to power through.
It does, but what I've done that I adopted, and I just seen it a couple weeks ago, but it's always in my head when it comes to me, and if I'm going to have a drink in front of me, I always try to do the 1, 2, 3 rule, and this is my goal. And I'm not saying I've been perfect with it. I've known it, and I've gone over. Now, the ruling is that you don't have more than 1 drink an hour. That's the 1. The 2 is you don't have more than 2 cocktails in a social setting, and then the 3 is you don't have more than 3 in a day. Because if you do go to number 4, now you're categorically binge drinking. And so that's what my goals are for my future of drinking. To say if I think I would stay with that, I would have a healthy relationship with alcohol and I'd be good.
Those are good rules Sunday through Thursday. But don't come at me with them rules on Friday, Saturday.
I mean, the perfect balance is 3 drinks, 2 Wonder joints, and your guitar. And now we're talking.
Yeah, well, you know what? That would work for me. I would do the tincture. I would have no more than 3 cocktails, and I'd be like, I'm good, man.
That is my
I'm as messed up as I need to be.
There's some nights in the week, and that's all a man needs is 3 to 4 drinks. I don't want to speak for you. I might have 4. A couple Wonder joints and your guitar.
Right. Yeah. So I feel like I'm. At least my plan, I believe in it. I'm great with it, and we'll see how it goes. Now it's just a matter of me committing and sticking to it. So we'll see. Tammy said, yeah, I'm still doing the dry January. I got tired of waking up hungover and paying for it. So, yeah, I think there's more and more people that in just what the marijuana's doing and the byproducts of it, whether it be the gummies or the tinctures or however you're doing it, there are other ways to consume it that is effective.
Yeah, and look, everyone needs a reset in life, and sometimes a reset is your whole life, and then sometimes you just need a break to cool down.
That's it. So there you go. But I got to tell you, it's almost daily that I'm just seeing more bad news for the alcohol biz. And my ultimate question, is this a temporary trend? Or are we seeing something where there's going to be the backslide of alcohol sales that will never recover?
Oh, no. We'll be drinking again when we find out what's in them drones. Aliens!
If the aliens come, I do need a cocktail. I don't give a shit if it's dry January or not.
If we had an Independence Day situation where there were huge motherships over New York City and all across the world, I think you'd see an uptick in drinking.
I'm going to pull out that tequila that I bought for you, Kevin, for Christmas. Because nobody's drank it. Because you didn't have any, and I haven't had any. That's what I'm going for.
Okay. Well,
tequila will get me there.
Tequila does get you there. That's still my drink of preference.
I mean, nothing says I need a drink like, holy shit, there's a mothership.
Yeah, if we figure out that there's aliens in these drones, I'm drinking.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome if they were aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Till they come and they try to kill us. Yeah, it's great.
Well, they're taking their ever-loving time doing it.
Yeah.
They're really edging us. If they're here to kill us,
well,
they're blue balling this thing.
Here's what I
Project
think they're
Blue
doing.
Ball.
They're watching us because they know that we have our finger on the button for the nukes. And they're going to step in if we do something stupid to stop us. They're here and they're just waiting. It's up to us not to do something dumb.
Wow, she believes they're here
I
now.
know, right? Listen to her. You really turned her into a believer over there, Jay Bird.
I feel like I have.
This is pretty amazing. I don't know who she is. Over there.
I've been hanging out with him too long.
She's a big alien enthusiast now. Tammy got a suggestion for Jay Bird and Denny's. You got to try a cannoli with peanut M&Ms.
Ooh, okay. You know, cannolis, I'm a horrible Italian. I usually didn't like cannolis, and the last year or so, I've really gotten into them. I had some good cannolis.
Okay.
And I don't like peanut butter. Oh, wait, peanut butter M&M, she said?
She said yes. I believe peanut M&Ms.
Ooh, that
Yep.
would go fine, yes. Yes, it would. I do like that.
Fan of that.
Goofball.
Got him going.
I love how he grabs his chin and makes a face like he's a professor. Yes, I would like that.
To me, that's a smart email.
David had something happen at a restaurant, and he wants a little feedback on. He said, went out with my wife. All great. Got our food. We're getting ready to eat. I ate one scallop. My wife had one bite of her steak. And the manager server, who is not our manager, or not our server, I should say, as he walked by, sneezes.
Oh.
Not into his elbow, not into his hand, just blasts it out into the great wide open.
Now, in your direction or in a different direction?
Well, it's got snottle at that point. Like spittle, but snottle. It's in the atmosphere.
Yeah, them droplets are going all over the place. So I stop, I look up, then my wife asked, did he just sneeze? I replied, yes. She then tells me she felt the spray hit her hands.
Okay, we got a problem.
I mean, if it's hitting your hands, it's hitting your food.
We got a problem.
Our server checks on us, and we tell the server and pointed out the guy who did apologize, and I responded with, well, it happens, it's okay, but we cannot eat this now. Then that manager comes over, and his first words are, I didn't sneeze.
What?
Sir, maybe you didn't realize, but it got all over my wife. I haven't sneezed all night. Sorry, sir, but yes, you did. My wife didn't imagine she got sprayed. He said, the moment I look up hearing you sneeze, I look at the cameras, but I did not sneeze. Sir, you don't need to argue with me, but we cannot eat this. 95% of our food was untouched. And the manager kept insisting that they did not sneeze. After the fourth time arguing with me, I lost it. Very loud in the restaurant. I called him a pig. I didn't cuss. We left. Maybe I'll be on YouTube. I don't know, but I welcome it.
What a
Whoa.
scene.
But now my wife is mad because I caused a scene and left. Was I in the wrong?
Well, look, the manager challenged you, and if someone challenges you and calls you a liar, and now you know you felt what you felt, which was spray on your hand, you have to escalate this thing to wherever it needs to go and then walk out of the restaurant. You can't eat that food. You're not paying for that food. So why stick around at that point? Let him know what you feel about him, and then you leave.
Is it possible, and I'm just asking possible, that he did not sneeze and it was a misunderstanding? And he's like, what the fuck are these people yelling at me for?
Well, it's his word against your wife. You better take your wife's side, sir. You better take your wife's side. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, you know, if you were a manager, and let's say you really didn't, and you're being accused of sneezing, let's say that there's a chance he didn't, I would put it, you know, not just because they emailed us, but the fact that you heard it, you both recognized it, she felt it. To me, that's a good chance that the sneeze really did happen, and he probably was just so mortified and embarrassed that he's trying to double down on it, knowing that, okay, it's your word against mine.
Now, would it have been de-escalated if the manager goes, I'm sorry, my bad, I didn't mean it? Would you still have given him the business
if
after?
If he owns it, like, of course you're going to say, okay, I accept your apology. Can we get new food? Because it's like, you sprayed my hand. I know you sprayed my scallops.
Yeah, I think that is your best option as a manager.
Of course.
You could say, I'm sorry, I will agree to disagree, but regardless, I want you to have a great experience. Let me get you new meals right away, and if you want a free cocktail as you wait, I'll comp that too.
And then
I
you go
think
behind the scene and sneeze on it when they don't see it.
When I'm in the back, I'm rubbing that thing all over my balls. Yeah. Now, you were worried about a sneeze? How about my Fremunda cheese?
Some cheese
It's
balls.
now coating your dirty dick steak.
Yeah, if I would not complain. We'll take some more new meals. I feel like they're definitely rubbing it on their balls.
No doubt they are. No doubt they are.
Yeah, you may need to pack it up and leave. Your husband did you a solid. You guys couldn't eat that food, and you don't want to eat Famunda cheese ball scallops.
Yeah.
Also, you got to just leave.
Also, too, if you are the manager, and let's say you didn't do it, do you guys, because you're the manager and the customer's technically, always right, even though they're not.
Right.
Do you just take it on the chin and go, I apologize, okay, because you don't want to get into an argument with a customer in the dining area?
You really shouldn't say, we will agree to disagree, because even that is aggressive. You should, if you're doing it right, you should just say, I'm so sorry that this happened. I'm going to get you a new meal. Please just hold tight.
But does that mean,
that's it.
Does that mean you always have to take it, though? What if you really did not do some shit a customer said you did?
Yeah.
And it kind of damages your character.
Right. That you would do that and you wouldn't have the wherewithal to sneeze in a different location, cover your mouth at the very least.
Most fine dining establishments will encourage the manager to take it on the chin and just get him a new meal, because you don't want this guy standing up and then loudly calling you out for the sneezing, which is what happened. They don't want that in the dining room.
I just know that, when I worked at the fancy golf club, if I was to ever get into any kind of argument, even if the member was wrong, I would have been fired.
Totally.
You never argue with the customer in front of everybody. That's what they
Never.
teach you, at least in the service industry.
Yeah, and my feeling on it, I think you go most of the way what the consumer wants, but at the same time, you got to realize there are people that just go in to try to scam restaurants out of high-end meals.
Sure.
And I would have to look to see what they are, because I'm not giving into that. If I
Agreed.
expect that's what we have, then I think you at some point sometimes need to have some kind of resistance and not give in to everything, or else you're going to be giving out free meals like crazy.
Because I do think there are all those kind of scams. I told you about the time my mother and Aunt Ann went to a Chinese buffet.
Yes.
And there were baby roaches in the rice and on their plates, and the restaurant accused them of putting the roaches in there.
I remember that.
And
you told that.
They couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Because not only did they have roaches in their food, which is disgusting,
Yep.
they got blamed for it.
That's low.
But my mom said that they reacted in a way that it probably did happen to them before, where they got scammed.
Yeah.
Because they were very aggressive about it.
Probably a bit of both. And
They were ready. Your mom wasn't. They already knew how it was going to play out.
Plot twist: my mom really did put the roaches in there. Oh, it would wreck my world if I found out to be true.
She would never.
Never.
I just change everything.
Oh, that would be tough, man.
Got an email here from Tiffany. She said, for all of you married couples on the show, I'm just kind of curious how all of you divvy up tasks within your marriage and household, as far as managing finances, taking care of the kids, doing errands, house cleaning, yard work, paperwork, emails, car repairs, etc. And if your methods work well for you. My husband and I both work 40 plus hours a week. We have 2 kids, but for some reason, I am primarily responsible for most of the household functions, both inside and out, and he just, quote, helps. I plan to discuss with him how he can realign things to have some more shared responsibility in our home, but I'm curious what works best for you guys. Thank you for entertaining your listeners on a daily basis. Virginia, what about your household? How do you do it?
You know, this is tricky because my sister went through this. I've gone through this in my head. We're like, do you want to be scolding your husband and your children all day? Is that really how you want to live your life? Because in my house, nobody's going to clean to the level that I clean. It's just not going to happen. So instead of me being mad all the time and me cleaning up after everybody and mumbling about them under my breath, I have a cleaning lady that comes once a week. And it just relieves so much stress for me as far as like picking up after them. And I know that it's going to get picked up. I pay for it, so it comes out of my stipend, whatever. But it just relieves a lot of me having to scold and parent my husband and my son. That I don't have time for scolding.
Mm-hmm. But not everyone can afford a person to clean their house.
True. And if that is the case, you're going to be in a scenario where everybody has to have a clear chart of their responsibilities, and it's written down, and everybody knows exactly what they're responsible for, because not everybody is set to the same cleanliness levels, and not everybody wants to help out.
It's crazy. As I got older, especially I would say in my mid 30s, I really understood why my mom got so pissed off when she'd clean the house, and within 20 minutes it was fucking destroyed
Again.
by the entire, the crew coming in. I can see how that can break a motherfucker.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
If people aren't making the adjustment.
I did see a study this last week, and it says that, when you have this kind of family dynamic, women are doing about 71% of all the chores and everything that needs to be done around the house.
That's a low ball in my house.
Yeah, and it varies from house to house. What I would just say, I think communication is key, and I can only give you from the dad-husband perspective. What I appreciate is have communication with me. Let me know what you'd like to have done and how, and I will stick to it. And if I don't, then it's on me, and I'll try to make sure that this is a good routine that I get myself into. I will tell you that sometimes things happen where Kim will just do it herself and then becomes resentful, and I don't think that's fair. I think that you need to let me know that, hey, instead of just getting bitter and doing it and trying to make a thing, and sometimes women will do this. They'll clank the dishes really loud, or they'll huff and puff and make a thing just to make you, so that they're in there doing something and you should be doing it. And I'd be like, if you want to just ask me. And then sometimes if I don't do it exactly right, I may take my own little liberty to do something. And it's not that, it's not anything radical, but she has such a fine way of doing it, then she'll scold you. And I would just discourage that to say, look, nobody wants to do something that they're going to be yelled at and critiqued and reviewed. I don't go around and if you're sweeping, say, yeah, what the fuck, bitch? You missed that spot right there. you know how my wife would take that if I did?
Oh, my gosh.
I get the equivalent sometimes of when I'm doing that. It's like, what the fuck, dick? Yeah, you fucked that up. And you're like, well, fuck you.
Well, I got to tell you, marriage sounds like a real hoot.
Yeah, so you got to communicate and do it with kindness. You got to have some patience in it.
And that's what it is. It requires kindness in your delivery. And sometimes I don't have that because I'm like, you didn't do the trash. You didn't take out the garbage. Like, what the fuck? I've told you 50 times. Like, why are we still having the same conversation? But you're right. If you deliver it with kindness, you get a lot further in life.
That would be rough. Coming home, that's the first thing you hear is Virginia's sweet angelic voice. You're supposed to take out the trash. What the fuck? Like, oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the best is like he won't take out the trash, but then he'll come in the house and then he'll complain about how the trash stinks up the whole house. And I'm like, that's funny.
Yeah, right.
I just giggle to myself and I go off in the bathroom and laugh. But that happens a lot.
It's so funny hearing you both kind of low-key vent.
Hey, we got to get it out somewhere, Bert.
This is like therapy.
We got to get it out, Bert. I can't keep it in.
Yeah, we're in a good spot with it, but that's what I've just told that to my wife. I'm like, if you want something done in a nice way, communicate it to me and then help me out if I don't do it exactly how you want. Instruct me on how to do it. Don't belittle me. Don't yell at me.
Right.
Don't do that kind of stuff because I am here. I want it to be equal. I don't want you doing a mass amount of work. In fact, I'd like to do the opposite. I'd like to make your life easier, so I will do it when I have time.
Well, if Panda doesn't take out the trash now, that's on him. I mean, how many fucking public shamings can that guy take? I mean,
yeah,
dude,
been a lot.
If he's not, at that point, I would be so, where's the trash at?
Look, I acknowledge that it's just me, that I like it extra clean. To the point where, like, if the trash is full and you've already taken it out once that day, it needs to go out again. Like, I don't care that it's already been taken out last night. If it's full again, you got to take it out again. I like it extra clean. Mm-hmm. And I know I'm a little bit maniacal about it, but I have learned to just swallow it, go into another room, vent under my breath, and maybe just not bring it up, and he'll take it out when he takes it out. I don't want him to have a big fight.
This conversation makes me so happy that I live alone.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I like it because we've discovered all you need is communication and consideration. And if you do those two things, chores are not going to be a problem. Kim and I never fight about it. We don't have an issue. This is way back earlier in our marriage, and we had that conversation, and it's in a good spot. And I think she knows if she'll come and ask me nicely if she wants me to do something, and I'll go do it.
But you're also not a messy person. You're a neat,
Oh my
organized
gosh,
person.
you're the
Yeah.
cleanest guy in your house.
You would be easy to live with, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because you don't really you kind of are by yourself.
And when I notice things out of sorts, I try to put them back to how I know they're supposed to be. But my wife, she loves having control of everything. So she wants to run it. So, for me, I just get out of her way. I'm like, you do your thing. If you need a little help on this, I'm here to help you. But you just keep trucking along. Because she's just like a tornado doing all her cleaning stuff and whatever. I'm like, I'm here to help. You need it, but I get it. All right, you don't want me around.
Does she like to clean?
She does. I think she enjoys it. I think it's just in her mind. She has to do it. She'd probably tell you she doesn't love cleaning it.
Well,
but
she's got so many other things that she has to do because she works, and that's what's hard because the work falls on her, and then she comes home and she feels like the house responsibilities fall on her, and the parenting, if she's got to do homework with a kid, like that falls on her. Like that's a lot for a mom.
It is, absolutely.
It is nice just to know, I got the dishes in the sink. Yeah, fuck it, I live it alone. I'll get to it when I get to it.
Yeah.
There's a freedom to that.
Absolutely,
But I'm
yeah.
also, you're right. You guys have bliss.
No, I think everybody has.
I love it because she does the
Benefits.
dishes. I'm like, this is great. I don't have to let them pile up. She gets them done. It's all good. I love
The
it.
dishes are done every day.
Yeah, between her or her mom. Yeah, I'm like, this is great. So, yeah. I mean, look, if I see them and they're there, then I'll try to do them. But I think I fucked up doing the dishes, so I try to stay away from them.
Do you do the dishes?
Me and Panda both do them. I would say I probably do them like 80% of the time, but he'll do them.
Yeah,
he'll
that's
do
good.
them. And if I ask him to do them, he absolutely will do them. He absolutely will. But I think women just, in my house, I am way more in tune with, I got to keep this place clean. I got to keep this place clean. I don't think the dudes in my house care nearly as much as I do. They'll walk past
Yeah.
Coke cans and snack wrappers and
They probably-
dirty socks. They don't give a shit.
They
Yeah.
probably love that it's clean, but they probably have a lower tolerance than you
Yes.
do.
They love that it's clean, and they sometimes don't even notice that it's
Yeah,
dirty.
right.
I notice that it's dirty because I know that I'm hypersensitive to it, and I realize that we're not on the same page, and I may be askew with how I'm doing it.
Yeah, and sometimes you can just have that conversation and be like, hey, if you ever notice that socks are just laying on the floor, balled up and whatever, they don't belong there, can you do me a favor, just throw those in the dirty clothes if you see it? And,
If we see a turd in the hallway on the hallway floor,
yeah.
we pick it up maybe.
Yeah.
Some people would walk past it in some households.
Oh, I lived with a person back in the day who had a dog. It wasn't my
Well, the
dog.
first question, whose turd is it? Because if you don't have a dog, then who just took a shit on the floor?
No, I meant for
You
the
got-
dog.
Oh, okay. I was
dog.
going to say, all right.
No, dog.
Because we got a bigger problem. If I'm with my husband, you just shitting on the floor. Now, yeah.
yeah, this is grounds
Yeah.
for divorce.
That's
Yeah,
why
then
you,
we got a different situation here.
you couldn't see Kevin's face. I left out dog.
Yeah, I was like, whose turd is this? Like, what's this guy doing?
I don't know how y'all do it in your house.
Yeah.
I lived with a roommate back in the day, and he had a dog. It was his, and the dog would take turds. It would crap on the floor. He wouldn't pick them up. You'd go to the kitchen,
gnarly.
and it would be there for a day. You're like, come on, dude.
No, oh my gosh, my head would spin around.
Well, now you're picking up his dog's turds, and now you're venting, and you're all mad.
No, we're getting divorced.
Yeah,
There's no way.
that's what I meant by the turds.
Yes, okay. Clarification there. That's good. Virginia, I believe you have a guest today.
I do. I am so excited. So, you guys might not remember Miss Emily. So, she's now a lovely young woman. But the last time that Emily was on the KVJ show, she was, how old were you, 10?
I think so.
Wow.
I think I was 10.
You were 10, and
Yeah.
how old are you now?
27.
27.
Wow, how about that?
Yeah, time's flown.
So Denny's has some pictures he's going to put up on KVJ TV of us and you back in the day, and it's kind of crazy. You and your dad came in.
We did. We did. We came in. I was super excited. We sang on the radio. My dad was not a singer. I was hoping to be one day. And we had a blast. I still cannot believe we won. He sings like a walrus.
Oh wow! And the picture we've got is Kevin's all muscled up and he has blonde hair.
Yeah, he does.
Right. How about that? Yeah, that was for a Miley Cyrus contest that we had. We had tickets for that. When I saw the photos, I remembered your dad and you guys coming in there. And yeah, that was, I had lost my bet to Virginia. It was over, Ohio State was playing her school, LSU, for a national championship. I think that was 2007.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, and so I had to dye my hair purple and gold. And then after, the thing was I just bleached it all blonde. But it still looked terrible.
Good look.
Boy, it was a rough look.
Good luck, Dad.
Terrible.
I want to see the purple and gold.
That was terrible too. Yeah, I think it was like a purple one. It was like a mohawk.
It's not Ralston's best look.
No, it was rough. Yeah, so.
It's amazing.
Yeah, look at that, huh?
Dennis put it back on.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you doing, Ralston?
I mean, it's
God.
early 2000s. It's going for it.
But he wasn't in a boy
And
band.
are you wearing a puka shell necklace?
Yeah, it was.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, how embarrassing.
I know, right? Hannah said, "Kevin, what in the 98 degrees is going on?" Yeah. I was. I always wanted to be in a boy band.
That picture's amazing.
That's fantastic.
Somebody said I thought Kevin was a chick in that photo.
And you're bent over kind of sassy.
It's a weird band.
This is Kevin if he was a lesbian.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's my best lesbian photo I've ever taken.
You should make it your new profile picture.
You should.
It's so flattering.
Please.
Looks amazing.
So you guys won the competition. You and your dad, you went backstage and you met Miley. How was that?
I was over the moon. I mean, when I was that age, I was her biggest fan. And I mean, I still love her to this day. She's killing it. And this new
Yes.
sound she's got going, I mean, she's rocking it. But she was
She
my
is.
idol, everything I wanted to be. So
Yeah.
I don't think I could even fully process. I probably blacked out for half of it.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I think that was before Wrecking Ball. That was
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
almost
yeah.
Hannah
Well,
Montana.
It was Hannah
That was
Montana
Hannah Montana
days.
days.
It
Yeah.
was full. She did half the concert as Hannah and half as Miley.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that is cool.
It was the best thing ever. So thank you so much, guys. Thank
I
you for
love
that. I
it.
still haven't forgotten it.
I love that. And then after you kept pursuing singing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You sang at ball games locally. You sang at all kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff. I was willing to do anything and have anyone who would take me and let me sing.
Yeah.
And I trained at the Jupiter Theater, and that's local. And they kind of raised me, and then I was able to go to NYU Tisch.
Wow.
Oh, that's
So-
great. What a
Yeah.
great school for that.
Yeah, I
That's
was
amazing.
Very, very lucky. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, and now I get to do it professionally. So I guess little Emily's dreams did come true, and hopefully I'll get to take that further.
Yeah.
She's currently in the production at the Jupiter Theater of Frozen.
Yes.
Okay.
But I reunited with her like about 6 months ago. She was in a show. They were doing like this amazing circus show.
Yeah.
And I was there as a guest of my friend who's a big donor to the Jupiter Theater. And before the performance started, your mother, Christina, came up to me and she's like, "Hey, Virginia, it's me, Christina. I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, Emily came on the KVJ show. Emily is in this show that you're about to see." And I was like, "Oh, I'm expecting a little girl." I'm still thinking in my head, you're a little girl. I don't know what I was thinking.
I mean, I'm still little.
You are little. You're very cute and petite, but you're a woman. And she came out with this sexy number, and I was like, "Emily?" Oh my gosh.
A little grown up.
A little grown up, so good, singing. You had the room in the palm of your hand. And it was absolutely captivating. I'm so happy that we reconnected.
Me too.
And I'm so proud of you. I got to see you in Frozen on opening night, and you were amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a blast. We get to be goofballs for an hour and a half, you know?
Yeah.
What's better than that?
So what is your goal in this world of performing and music?
Well, you know, I'm actually in a state where I'm kind of rethinking the direction I want to go. I think I still want to continue live theater. That's always been my roots. But I definitely want to start going more towards film, TV, recorded music. I mean, as you saw, Little Emily loved pop music, and I think that, you know, kind of heart and that initial drive is coming back. Okay. And I have some friends that I've written with before that want to start writing again, so we'll see what comes out of that.
That's great.
And
Following your heart.
You're really based out of New York City now.
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I fly back and forth, and I've been coming down here a lot, luckily enough, booking work down here, and it takes you all across the country. I have friends from all walks of life now, from everywhere, but I live in New York and all the chaos, and I absolutely love it. And I am lucky. I do have a lot of family up there. We're originally from New York. So.
Okay.
Is the pizza better up in New York than Florida?
Are you kidding me?
It definitely,
yes.
it really is better.
It is. And you know what? Brooklyn Water Bagel, I don't know what they do there. They've got something going on. It might be the water.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
They say the bagels and the pizza.
You think they have the best bagels?
I think New York and New Jersey. And listen, as a born New Yorker, it almost hurts saying this, but I had a New Jersey bagel, and it really, really stood up there.
Wow,
it's probably one of the best ones that I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, they're way better.
Are you auditioning for anything when you get back to New York? What's that whole scene like?
It's crazy. So we have essentially a season. There are auditions all year round. But it's a season you go back and you're kind of pounding the pavement and going in for auditions. You get appointments. A lot of us, like me, luckily I'm in the union, so I can make appointments online and go in and audition for various things. And then you kind of just see what sticks and you hope for the best. And then while you're doing all of that, you make work with your friends too. So I'm very excited. One of my friends has a cabaret coming up. We're going to build one for me as well.
Your own cabaret show?
Yeah.
In New York?
Yeah.
Can we come see it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I am there.
That's so
I'll
cool.
let you know.
Let me know. I will be there cheering for you.
Oh, I'd love it. Thank
Aw, that's awesome.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. I'm glad that it's taken off
Thank you.
so long, and I'm glad I didn't scare you out of music with my lesbian look that I had.
No, if anything, I think you inspired it.
Okay, that's good. They're going, yeah, if he can dress like that,
Well,
what I
yeah.
can do.
Daddy's put it back up.
Yeah. Somebody called me Kevin Degeneres.
No, wait, that's so good.
Denny's, can you zoom in on Kevin? Is that possible? I mean, that is just fantastic. Teeth so white, matching hair so white.
Yeah.
Such a great fit.
Well,
So
it's
good.
amazing. Yeah, that's good.
So good. Well, Emily, we're so proud of you. I'm so happy that you were here with us in the beginning and inspired by Hannah Montana to be your own little Hannah Montana.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Hopefully it'll happen, and thank you guys.
And tickets are still available, too, for the Maltz Jupiter Theater performances of Frozen going on all this week. I'll be there on Sunday again.
Oh, yay!
Yay!
Oh, I hope it's even better than when you saw it the first time.
It will be.
How long is the run for?
We run it for about 3 weeks, so we get 2 weeks to really rehearse it and then put it together. We have a week of tech for all the designers and other artists to come in and put their finish on it.
Okay.
We run it for 3 weeks, and then we all fly home.
Disappear.
Most of us are from New York, so
Oh, okay.
yeah.
That's great.
Is Sunday the last day?
Sunday's the last day.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, get your tickets, come and see it. It's really fun. There's a lot of screaming children in the audience when Olaf comes
yeah.
out.
Oh, yeah.
And it's really heartwarming.
Olaf is so cute. It's really a good show. You guys really did kill it. I loved it. My son, who was like, I don't know, Frozen's kind of for girls. And I was like, just come, Rocco, just come. He was clapping in his seat, standing up and cheering. It really is a beautiful production.
Thank you. Thank you. We're really proud of it. We're really lucky. There's a lot of magic and a lot of brilliant people who put work into it.
Yeah.
So.
Can only imagine. So great. Well, it's good seeing you again.
Good seeing you too. Thank you
Yes.
for having me.
Come back anytime.
Okay.
No doubt. All right. Well, y'all have a great day getting through this week. Flying by. Thursday. One more.
Yay.
After that, and then we are into the weekend. Y'all enjoy it. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.